You know what I adore? Dragons. They are amazing winged flying creatures I adore. They are present in various forms throughout the many mythologies across the world and have stayed popular even long after we have stopped worshipping or slaying them, as we have come rightfully to see them as mythical creatures, as the stories surrounding them as fictitious in nature, crafted by cultures long past to understand things they could not. But we still have some great stories being made revolving around them, because just because something is fictional doesn't make it any less cool. And in this video, I'm going to give recommendations of my favorite dragon movie/show, comic, and book series that you should check out. How to Train Your Dragon. Hiccup is a teenager living upon the island of Berg, where battling dragons is necessary for the tribe's survival due to near-constant attacks. He struggles to fit in due to his unconventional way of doing things, even though his father is the chief of the clan. Enrolled in dragon fighting school to prove his worth as a Viking, Hiccup's life changes when he befriends an injured dragon he names Toothless, presenting an opportunity to transform not just his own but his entire tribe's future. This is a synopsis for the first How to Train Your Dragon movie, and a glimpse into the entire How to Train Your Dragon franchise. With 3 movies and 2 TV shows, we don't talk about DreamWorks Dragons 9 Realms. It's really fun, with lots of interesting dragon lore, as well as having Vikings. That is also super cool. I really like seeing how they incorporate it into world building, even if it's mostly reserved for background information, and they change it up for the audience. The culture of Vikings don't play too big of a role. They still masterfully use dragons not just as fearsome creatures but as integral parts of the Viking world, showing their complexity and intelligence through the relationships they hold to the characters. The animation is stunning, bringing these majestic dragons and rugged Viking landscapes to life with breathtaking detail. The evolving story explores deeper themes of friendship, trust, and understanding, making How to Train Your Dragon an unforgettable adventure and a captivating series for audiences of all ages. I highly recommend it if you're looking for some good movies and shows with dragons in it. Wings of Fire. Clay and his friends have grown up under a mountain, secretly raised by the talons of peace to fulfill a mysterious prophecy. The 5 young dragons are destined to end the war that's been raging between the tribes of Pariah, but how they'll do this, none of them knows. This is a synopsis for Wings of Fire Book 1. Wings of Fire is a kids' book series ran by Tuatara Sutherland, set within a world ruled by dragons. They're not just enemies or pets of humans within the story, but instead have their own cultures and societies. There are a total of 3 arcs with 15 books, 5 per an arc, each following their own prophecy, and new main characters to follow each book. Alongside this, they have their own spin-off books to give more background on the world and its characters. There is a total of 8 spin-off books, as well as 9 graphic novels. So yeah, it's a lot of content, and it may seem daunting, but you don't need to read any of the spin-offs, and you could just read a single arc and drop it at the end of each arc's conclusion, as it's written in a manner which allows for it to be ended with the respective arcs. They're more like interconnected stories that make references and carry over things and ideas from other arcs. I do want you to note that it is best to read them in order, as the characters and world buildings and other arcs allows for easier understanding of the story at large. The books themselves are for kids, however they deal with incredibly dark subject matter. There's depictions of war, child abuse, references to genocide, graphic murder, slavery, and a whole lot more. The characters themselves, however, are what carries the series and allows for all these dark themes to have lasting impacts within the story. Each character has so much personality and depth to them as characters, and the arc that they go through, making these dragons feel like real people, while containing some childlike banter and humour, nothing too juvenile like potty humour. It doesn't detract from the story and even occasionally adds to it, allowing some character interactions to feel more natural and the humour to create some much needed liberty during very dark situations. For me personally, reading the series, it felt a wide variety of emotions such as shock, satisfaction, sadness, happiness, nervousness, and even heartbreak for characters as they go on these adventures. I highly recommend Wings of Fire. It's an incredible series with some very deep world building, laid characters, and an intriguing plot. Woven. All forms of magic that once permeated the kingdom disappeared when the dragons fled and the mages disappeared 14 years ago. Ayes is a young blind girl trying to find her place in a world which she perceives very differently from those around her. A world where the fear of uprising is growing as unrest and political turmoil become worse. She sets out to master the illegal art of spell weaving to save her Ma's life from a mysterious mage, but soon becomes unraveled in a much bigger plot. Will Ayes be able to unravel the truth about the kingdom's mages and dragons, all whilst keeping her family safe? Woven is an amazing webcomic available to be read on Webtoon, made by Lark and Ren. Woven has gorgeous art. The backgrounds are done in a very watercolour style, even if only hazily depicted. It pairs beautifully with the bold lines and colours given to objects and characters. The creature and animal designs are brilliant. They're my personal favourite ones, especially the dragons. And the art isn't the only gorgeous thing within Woven. The writing of the story is amazing too. The characters are all wonderful and layered. And I use as someone attempting to find a footing within the world and a place within it. Her choice to learn weaving spells being a part of this journey, even if she herself does not know it yet. And of course, Theo is also there. Theo is a mage and a teacher of Anais within the story. He's chaotic, spread it out, and not at all a good teacher, even so she is steadily progressing with her magic. But everything about him is shrouded in mystery as he keeps everyone in his life on a need-to-know basis. But it's clear he knows a lot about many things, from the war to magic to dragons. And that's to be expected, as dragons, magic, and the war are all tied together in the need to know, due to the fact that magic is tied back to dragons, as they are the only beings that are capable of naturally accessing magic, and one of the central forces within the war that took place 14 years ago. But their exact role, like most things within the war, remains unknown. Overall, Woven is a fantasy webtoon with dragons that are paired alongside gorgeous art, incredible writing, and fantastic world-building. To close off this video, I hope you like the sound of these dragon media recommendations and consider checking them out. I'll link the sites which can provide more information on them and take you directly to read them in Woven's case in the pinned comment down below. Please tell me which of these you want to check out and what made you decide that. Or if you have checked them out, tell me if you liked or disliked them, and if so, why. I adore hearing other people's perspectives on media, as it opens for a wider conversation and view of things. Lastly, please give me your dragon media recommendations. As I stated at the start of this video, I'm a huge fan of dragons, especially dragon stories, and would love to get recommendations from you since you clicked on this video, and I'm assuming you too are a fan of dragon and dragon stories. So getting recommended from you would be great. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. I have a bunch of other videos and shorts which contain more recommendations from yours truly. While they aren't about dragons, they are well worth checking out, and many of them share similarities with the recommendations I gave here in terms of theme and setting. I'll link my romance recommendation short webtoon reviews down below. Also, I plan to upload a dragon speed edit next week, so if you want to see me draw a dragon in my art style, you should subscribe. Thanks for watching.